start the recording here. So we're going to record this tonight. I want to welcome everyone to our final conference call, final state call for the year of 2019. Tell you, this year's flown by, hasn't it? That's doesn't seem like we're to this point yet, but we sure are. So want to welcome you tonight, and let's get started. We got a lot to cover tonight, so as we normally do, and we'll go through this as quickly as we can, get everybody involved. But vision statement for the state of Indiana for what we're trying to do. Our vision, of course, is to build a Hoosier grassroots community of citizens and legislators dedicated to the constitutional concept of self-governance. This has been our vision statement for some years now, and this will remain for our vision for 2020. Okay? Now, our mission statement for 2019 was pretty aggressive. We probably set our objectives maybe a little too high, but we made headway. We've made headway on all of these objectives. Meeting quarterly with our legislators, targeted legislators, presenting 34 already. We'll be talking more about our targeted legislators. Growing the grassroots to 40,000 supporters. Got some good news on that one for you tonight. Okay. Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself until we ask you to come on. Establish 7 region captains. We didn't get to that. Create 4 Young Americans for COS high school chapters. That was probably too aggressive, but once again, we did make headway this year, but we didn't quite get to that particular one. Now, I want to share with you our mission statement for 2020, and it's very simple. We really only have 2 objectives that we're going to try and accomplish in 2020. And we're going to get into tonight, we're going to roll out to you some ways that we're going to accomplish this. But we decided to only state our mission objectives in two statements, 2 objectives, because really, you know, everything that we do really comes down to these 2 items. And that's to meet with all of our assigned legislators, as well as targeted legislators. So when it comes to legislators, that's the objectives. The objective is that we want to meet with them. And we'll talk about how many, you know, some of the different ways that we can go about doing that. But that's our first objective as far as legislators are concerned. The second objective is growing the grassroots to 52,000 supporters in 2020. Now, I'm going to talk a little, as we move on here, I'll touch on how we finished up 2019, and you'll see that we went over the 40,000 number for 2019, and I'll talk about that a little bit more as we go on here. But folks, we have grown tremendously here in the state of Indiana. When David and I took over as co-state directors in 2017, we had something like 14,000 supporters here in the state of Indiana, and we have now surpassed 40,000. So we've been growing at quite a clip, and so I think the 52,000, you know, when we first heard that number, we thought, ooh, I don't know, man, that may be too high. But I really think 52,000, I think we'll easily reach that. I mean, we got to do some things, and we're going to talk about what those things are, what those activities are. But I think this is very doable for us. So those are the the objectives for 2020. Anybody have any questions on those, or any comments or anything? Okay. Well, I had this slide up last month. You know, at our October strategy meeting, 2020 strategy meeting, we we talked about different things, different things we needed to do, different things we needed to look at, try to incorporate into our activities for 2020. And these are, I won't go into these, but I just wanted you to see all the different things that we touched on at our strategy meeting. Now what I want to do is I want to have Gary and Paul come on and introduce to you a couple major programs that we have put together for 2020. And these programs, you will see, have incorporated many of the topics, many of the items that you see listed here that came up in our strategy meeting. In other words, these are strategies in 2020 to accomplish our mission goals for 2020. So, the first one, Gary, I want you to come on. This is Gary's program. Gary put this together, and I'm really excited about this because our district captains are very important players in what we do here in Convention of States in Indiana, and our district captains and region captains are key players, and we expect a lot out of them, and we will continue to expect a lot out of them, but we're going to approach it in a little different way. And Gary, I'd like for you to kind of summarize this. I know this may be hard to see, but you'll be getting this and you'll be seeing more of it. But Gary, you want to kind of give us an overview of the new program here?
Sure will, Dale. Thanks for everybody for coming on the call tonight. And what we're going to do next year is initiate what we call the District Captain Mission Excellence Plan. And there's 3 areas here: general and training, building legislator relationships, and then growing the grassroots. And each of these, there will be like points awarded each month for the activities that people complete. And you can see that we have goals there in each of those areas for how many points each district captain will accumulate during a quarter. People who've already completed training might not get those 6 points, but they can get points, for example, for COS University courses. And the whole objective of this is to inspire activity, to help each one of us be more effective in building legislator relationships and in growing the grassroots, and then in communicating effectively within our own team. So that's it. You'll be seeing more about it later on, and we may, on the monthly calls, be recognizing people for outstanding achievement, and certainly for the year, we'll have some totals for outstanding.
Okay. Anybody have any questions on this? Speak up now. Now, I think I just want to reiterate here that Rodney, did you have something you wanted to say?
I was just going to ask who you were sharing that with. Do you have it posted somewhere people can see it? The print's kind of small on the screen.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know it's hard to see on that. Yes, I'll be pinning this as well as some other things to the general Slack channel for our state. But what I want to point out to you is under each of these headings, under the three main headings, there are a number of activities indicated there by which you can earn points. So, so there's going to be a lot of things, a lot of different things that you as a district captain or a region captain can do to earn points. And I think that's what's so good about this program, is that we've tried to incorporate so many of those activities, those strategies that came up in our strategy meeting, and so that we can recognize the different efforts that many of you do month in and month out. So you'll be getting more on this, and you'll be hearing more about it, but I just wanted to initially roll this out to everyone tonight. Okay, anybody else have any questions or comments?
Dale, I'd just like to add one quick comment, and
yeah.
that is the object of this is not to earn points. That's the way that we recognize people for outstanding achievement, but the object is to build legislative relationships, grow the grassroots, and be effective in our leadership roles.
Gary's always correcting me, I'll tell you. That is so true. That is so true. Thanks, Gary. That is good. I'm kind of focusing on the points thing, you know. All right. Well, the next thing that I want to roll out is the District Captain Training Program. And now I know this is probably very hard for you to see. I understand that. But we'll be getting, like I said, we'll be getting this is just an outline. Paul, you want to come on and
yeah,
tell everybody about this?
So what we're doing to try to improve the training experience for the district captains is we're keeping the 6 modules that we have, where the district captains would meet with George and myself and Ken and Chris and Dale. But we're integrating with that the COS University courses, and then we're also adding in some activities so the district captains, as going through trainings, can immediately apply some of the learning. And instead of in the past we were going through all 6 modules and then cutting them loose to be a district captain. But probably one of the most significant changes is we're going to start to use a mentor for all new district captains. And those will be existing district captains, and a new trainee will have a mentor assigned to them. And you know, if you kind of squint and put your nose up to the screen, you might be able to see that the first step in the plan is just like it is today, a free conference call session with George on an introduction. And then after that, we'd have the new trainee meet with their mentor, and they'd go over this training plan. And we would like the mentor and the trainee to meet once a week by phone for a 3 to 5 minute phone conversation, in which the trainee would commit to what they plan to get done in the next week. So, you know, our trainee might say, okay, I'm going to do the courses for COS 100 and VOL 100. And then the next week when they meet, the trainee can report, hey, I got COS 100 done, I wasn't able to get to VOL 100, so for the next week I'm going to do, I've got some more free time or whatever, I'm going to do Volunteer 100 plus COS 200 and 300. So just kind of a weekly checkpoint where the trainee's driving it and committing to what they think they can get done. And then we're going to have, as I said, some activities in there. Partway down the screen you can see Activity 2. Once the trainee has learned the basics of COS, how to respond to opposition, in our culture, then we're going to ask them to recruit 5 petition signers. So that's getting them to apply those skills right away. Now, for any of the activities, that's not a stopping point where you don't do any more training until that activity is done. You know, you could get started on recruiting 5 petition signers and be doing your session with Chris or the next COS courses at the same time. Pardon me. And the other thing is this material is all put into a PDF that has links to any of the training that you have to do. So each trainee will get this PDF, and from that they can link to any of their training materials. It'll be just one spot that they have to go to track how they're flowing through the training. And if you notice on the excuse me, on the time column on the bottom, 14 hours, 13 minutes, and 19 seconds. That's the sum total of time of all the training courses and the 6 one-hour free conference call sessions. So that's the amount of actual time we're asking you to commit to, and we're thinking 6 to 8 weeks to get that done. So that works out to about 2 hours a week of training to complete the training program.
Okay, all right. So I think this is a great revamp of our current training program. This is going to get the trainee involved from the very start, and the trainee will be involved in doing things all through his or her training, rather than we have put them through the training and then they start once all the training's done. So this will be helping them along from the very beginning, and I think the mentoring is going to be a really great thing. That not only will that help the new trainee, but it'll help the mentor also, the district captain doing the mentoring. Does anyone have any questions? I know this is very hard to see on the screen here, and again, we'll pin this to the general channel. Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, this is George. Has it been determined yet how the mentors are going to be chosen?
They'll be assigned by the region captain for the trainee, and if there's no region captain, then Gary will do that.
Yeah, obviously, we're not going to be, every region is probably not going to have a district captain, may not have, so we may, a district captain may be mentoring someone in a different region, but that's okay too.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, Paul, were you going to make any more revisions to this? Didn't we talk about some other revisions?
Yeah, this in fact is outdated. I'm still working through finalizing the training plan here, and then right now working on building out how behind the scenes we're going to be able to track everybody's progress. But the plan is to roll this out with the new year.
Okay. All right. All right. Anybody have any other questions or comments? All right. All right. Thanks, Paul. Well, Rodney, glad you could join us tonight. And how about, you got any comments? Do you want to make a few comments then?
Yeah, first of all, I like what I'm seeing there with the training and the other sheet you had there with the points on it and everything. For growing the grassroots and the legislative contacts and all that, you're a little bit ahead of national on some of these things, because I know Jason is going to come out sometime with what he calls a DC training and promotion path. And
we're way ahead, Rodney.
Yes,
we're way ahead.
As a matter of fact,
Jason can't track some of these things.
I know. Yeah, this is way much better than what I've seen. So the other thing is we have a call of state directors in past states, and there was a question brought up about states that are doing training by a state that has a training program, and Dale talked about his and shared it, and they liked it real well. So you guys are leading some of the other past states in what you're doing.
That's the old program. What I gave them is already outdated.
Yeah, keep them buying you. Cool. Yeah.
I think seriously, Rodney. I think we've come up with some really, really good stuff here, and you know, as long as we administer this accurately and timely on a timely manner, I think it'll be great.
Yeah, and the other things as far as progress for the year and that number up to 40,000 since 2017, awesome. All the events I've seen a bunch of you doing, the gun shows, the parades, everything, it's just been an awesome year for Indiana as far as I see. Thank you all for everything you're doing. Great, great, great. So I guess you're wanting me to talk about a couple of things you asked me to talk about, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, Cause Action app, you might have seen where I posted an announcement about that on Monday on the general channel on Slack. So, there's been a program out there some of you may not know or not know about. It's called Telepatriot. And so let me back up. Cause Action app is going to eventually be like COS in your pocket. I wouldn't call it Citizen Builder in your pocket because you're still going to be using. If you were trying to use it on your phone, you've got such a miniature screen there, it'd be hard to do, like the follow-up tool and the district dashboard and LMT, things like that. But it's going to be, you could do that on your phone. You can even do it now if you wanted. But it's going to be a lot of things rolled into this app. It's going to be an awesome app with a lot of features in it. There's 4 phases of development. And so I'll just cover the first phase that was just released only for iPhone. The Android option should be released within a week or 2. They've got it into Google for approval for the app to be released, so we'll let you know when that happens. So right now, only for the iPhone. In this app right now, it has the capability of looking at the news blogs, news items. National can send out notifications to you in the app. The big thing is the Telepatriot piece. Telepatriot was an app developed by Brent Dunklau, a volunteer in Texas. And what it is you can create a list of people that you want to call, need to call. And in a lot of cases for other states, it's creating a list of people they need to call in a non-pass state to rally them to the Capitol for a Capitol Day or a committee hearing or something like that big that's going on. And they create a list by high priority districts or the whole state, and then a bunch of people jump in and call. And what it does, instead of working from spreadsheets to do this kind of thing, it pops up one number at a time to the person that has the app in their hand on their phone, and you call it. You just hit their number and call that person. You get a phone script on there that tells you what to say. The state develops that call script. And then once you've completed that call, whether you had to leave a message on voicemail or you actually talked to the person or it was a bad number, once you complete that call, it pops up a screen that has those options where you can add a note that you talked to that person for whatever the mission was, and that note will go into that person's profile, and it also goes into your profile that you took that action in the Cause Action app. And then it has the options of you had to leave a message or not leave a message. There's another feature in there that if you call the person and they didn't answer, you left them a voicemail, but you want to call them back, or you want to call them back for any reason, you can there's a button on there where you can park that call, and you can set a time on there. It's got a expiration time on it, days. You can set it for days, and that call will come back up, and you can make that call again. So a whole lot of features in there, and so I highly recommend the people that have iPhones to go out to your crap, I always forget, the Apple Store, whatever it is, and look for the Cause Action app and install it.
That's available now.
It is for the iPhones, yeah.
Is? Okay.
Yeah, and you can bring that up and just play around with it. There's not going to be any missions there because you have to be assigned to a mission.
Okay. All right.
So one of the things you can do with it well, I don't know if you want me to talk about this yet. The mission parts there.
The what? The what?
The Telepatriot project and how Indiana could use it.
No, Paul's going to talk about that later on. I just,
okay.
You don't need to get into that.
All right, so there's the features on the app. Highly recommended. I'll let you know when the Android one's out there, and you can install it and start punching around on the buttons. You're not going to hurt anything, call anybody, or break anything. So, and just like anything else, if you see a problem, create a help desk ticket and turn it in, like you do with Citizen Builder.
Okay. All right, Rodney. Anybody got any questions or comments for Rodney?
Hey, Dale, this is Paul.
Yeah, Paul.
I just want to add one of the things I'm excited about on this app is it allows you to enter action reports directly from the app. So when you meet with a legislator, you no longer need to go to Patriot Games. You can just, on your phone with the app, enter your report on your meeting with the legislator.
Oh, that's great. That's a great feature. Great.
Thanks, Dale. That was a real important feature. I should have wrote me a list. That is one thing I did want to mention. Thanks, Paul, for doing that. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. All right, Rodney, thank you very much. Hang around with us if you want.
I'll be here for the duration.
All right. Okay, let's move on. We still have different positions open that we want to try to focus on in 2020. And we got some ideas on how we're going to, and we'll cover that a little bit later when Paul talks about the Telepatriot project that we're going to be involved in. But anyway, so obviously we're still looking for district captains, event coordinator, coalitions director, veterans coalition coordinator, videographer. So if any of you know of any people in your districts or in your area that you think might be interested or have some qualifications in these areas, please point them to our direction. Please do that. Okay, let's mention some new leaders here. Gary, you want to introduce these two individuals to us? Gary, are you still there?
I am here.
And,
we have two new district captains who've come on board in Region 3. Cody White in District 81, who is a guy that Paul and I met several months back through the Americans for Prosperity group. He's a young guy, so a little younger blood in our midst. And then Elizabeth Hendricks, who is up in District 52. We also already have a district captain there, so we're probably going to give her a second assignment or a primary assignment in District 84 down here in the Fort Wayne area.
Okay.
Elizabeth has a lot of experience in working with legislators from some past work-life experience, so we're excited to have really both of them on board.
Excellent, excellent. Don't have anyone completing their training as yet. We got one or two that are getting close to completing, but none that we can report to you this evening. So welcome to the new people, and looking forward to getting to know you, and looking forward to you being part of our team. Yeah. All right, let's get into some of the tracking tools. The region breakdown, districts per region rather. Right now we're at 20 district captains, and you can see here the distribution. Again, we won't get into any detail on this right now. This will be a pinned item on the general Slack channel, so you can take a look at it at your convenience. boy, Region 3 just continues to fill up there. So they're really setting the standard for all the other regions in our state. And right now we have 3 region captains. We're hoping to, of course, Gary's got to come up with a replacement for him. But we have 3 region captains right now, and obviously we want to increase that number for 2020. Now, the other tracking report, Tim Heidenreich has been working very hard on getting me a report on supporters in the same format that he's provided reports to me in the past, but apparently National has not made the program changes that would enable him to create that report. So hopefully we'll have that when we start the new year out. But I just wanted to tell you, we were able to determine that for 2019, our state hit 41,343 supporters in the state of Indiana. And our goal was 40,000. So we went over that. We surpassed our goal. So congratulations to everyone. Thank you very much for all that you've done to make this happen. And for the month of December, we had 667 new supporters in the state. So hopefully by the time we do our January call, I'm hoping that we will have a report and be able to provide you the detail that I normally provide you on this report. Same way with we're going to try and come up with some type of a district captain tracking report or activity report, which will come from the Mission Excellence program that Gary has created. So we have yet to form that report, but we'll have it for you on the January call. All right. Let's get into legislative area. Paul, why don't you come back on?
Yeah, I'm still with you.
All right. Talk to us a bit about, well, let me bring this next slide up here. You want to talk to us about this individual?
Jack Dirk, I always call him our legislative liaison emeritus. He's our relationship guy at the Capitol building. It's always a joy to be at the Capitol building with Jack, because he can get you in any door you want to get in. He just knows everybody down there. And Jack has agreed to be our Capitol legislative liaison. So when you visit the state Capitol, Jack is the first one to go to see if he's available to take you around and make sure you know the ropes. And he's also coordinating some Capitol visit days. And as you can see on here, the first one is January 14th. So if anybody wants to head to the Capitol on that day to meet with their legislators, Jack will be there to help facilitate. And for that day, at least, I'm going to attend as well.
Jack, are you still on with us tonight?
Yes, I am.
Aye. Jack, you got anything you want to add to this?
No, I just say that these visits are important. Obviously, we've got 2 sets of groups we're trying to get targeting. Some that we've already contacted are still in the legislature, and we've got a lot of new legislators that have come on in the last couple of years, and we're trying to target those as well. And getting in to see them is sometimes difficult, but we have ways to get in, and we work a lot through the legislative assistants that work with these legislators, and they're really key to getting us in to see the people that we need to see. And we'll continue to use them to help us in the future as well. Myself and Larry Hudson has also agreed that he'll come down and help as well. Be good to have a couple of us down there just in case one of us can't be there. But the idea is that if you've not been down there, or if you have and you're really concerned about what's where and so forth, I've been around there for a little while, and I can probably show you the ropes and get you in to meet a lot of people. So I think that's the kind of the name of the game, to keep the people that are with us, keep them with us, and get some of the new people to make sure that they're with us as well. So that'll, I think, be the key thing, which is what it always is, of course.
Well, I want to thank you, Jack, for stepping up to do this. We're going to try. Number one, we're giving Jack a new title. We're going to call him the Capitol Legislative Liaison. So, and you know, I've already talked to you about the pay raise that's involved in that, right?
Yeah. Well, you're going to pay me more than Diane used to, right?
Right. I'm going to outdo Diane. Yeah.
Hey, I heard that.
I knew. Yeah, I promised him, Diane. I promised him a bigger pay raise than you had given him. So, so just so you know, kind of our plan here now is we want to set up 4 Capitol visits. We want to set up 4 of them, and the first one is January 14th. Okay, one of those 4 dates is going to be a surge day, and Paul, you want to say any words about that?
Just that it's in the early planning stages. We don't know which date we're going to do the surge. We just need to get that organized, but we want to pick a day when as many of us as possible can get down there for just to be seen. For those that haven't been there before, get a tour of the Capitol, and you know, maybe hold a little bit of a rally, get a couple legislators to speak. That kind of thing is the concept, but just in the early planning stages right now. One of the things that was, one of the ideas that was mentioned for this surge day would be to set up one of our information tables with the banners and everything right there in the lobby. I think that would be really great too, and have information there for everyone. So, okay, now this first date, and we'll be announcing these dates each month. This first date of January 14th, this would be a time if you would like to try and get an appointment with your legislator while they're in session, which they will be January, February, and half of March, right? Right.
This would be the time to do it. If you could try to get an appointment with them on January 14th and be there, and let set that up, and Jack will help you out while you're there. Okay? Be a good opportunity. So January 14th, everybody put that on your calendar, Capitol Visit Day.
And to be interested, it'd be good to know how many people can. I know it might be a little early to know exactly when you can be there, but if you can be there, just give us a couple of days' notice so we can kind of set things up and try to arrange things maybe a little ahead of time of some of the people we need to see. I'm
glad you mentioned that. I've indicated Jack's email address here and his phone number. So and that'll be on. That information for Jack is on the leaders list, which will be pinned to the general channel in our Indiana team. Okay. Paul, you want to talk about the Capitol Visit Day that we...
Yeah. So last Thursday on the 12th, we had a number of us visited. You can see from left to right, myself, Dale, Gary, Jack, and Larry had a great visit, spent the whole day there. Larry had scheduled appointments with Senator Victoria Spartz and Senator John Ruckelshaus. Had some good talks with them. We also spontaneously ran into a few legislators. Dale, you ran into your senator, didn't you?
I did. Senator Liz Brown. She we were all kind of huddled around a table there in the lobby, and here she comes walking by, and so I grabbed her, shook her hand, and she shook everybody's hand. She was on her way into her office or into the area for senators. So,
Yep.
So we got to see her.
And my senator, Dennis Cruz, ran into him. He came walking out of the Senate area. And we also came across one of the new senators, J.D. Ford,
Right.
a new young senator. Just ran into him. He was sitting at the desk outside the minority party area, eating a bag of chips and drinking a Coke for lunch. And we didn't know who he was. We started talking to him and figured out who he was. So it's a lot of fun just walking around down there, and you never know who you're going to run into.
Well, that's the kind of thing that can happen when you're down there. So that part's really very exciting, quite honestly. Okay. All right. The appointments we had with Senator Sparks and with Senator Ruckelshaus both were very, very good appointments. I think Larry Hudson had set that up for us.
Right.
So those were very good appointments. Very good.
In addition to that, the following day, on last Friday, I attended a luncheon and met Senator David Abbott. He's in District 82, kind of the Kendallville, Rome City area, and he replaced David Ober, who was a supporter of ours. So Dave Abbott is a target legislator. I gave him a little bit on Convention of States, and he's willing to meet. I need to do a briefing with him, and from that we'll make sure that he's a supporter. So those are the legislative contacts we have to report.
Paul, you want to summarize the target legislator tracking report here?
Well, this chart has not changed from last month, although we have had contact with two target legislators, that being Senator Ford and Representative Abbott. Neither contact was really enough of a context to get a commitment of support or oppose us, but certainly set up a follow-up.
Okay, all right. Now, you want to touch on this a bit?
So, Telepatriot, as Rodney started to talk about, is an app we have that was developed by Brent in Texas, and it's an app that supports what I'll call phone banking, and it's very sophisticated, but very simple to use, and we want to develop a very robust Telepatriot team in Indiana as a goal for next year. And what the app allows you to do is get input from Citizen Builder on of our 41,000 supporters, that if there's a specific legislator that we need to get contact to encourage them to vote a certain way or so on, those can be loaded into the app. It will pull just constituents of that legislator and present those to you on your iPhone. You'll tap on it, and it will call that constituent. You'll explain to them why you're calling. It's kind of a warm call because they've already signed the petition. They're already a supporter. And you'll ask them, can I connect you with your legislator to let them know your support or whatever? And then you'll tap another spot on the phone, and you'll be in a three-way call with the legislator's office. And you can guide that constituent through telling the legislator, hey, I support this, and we'd like your vote on it. One of the neat things that Brent has added to the app is you can now do video endorsements, where the constituent can, holding up their phone, do a video saying, hey, Senator, I want you to vote for this. And then we can combine all of those videos and post it to a YouTube video that gets sent to the legislator, and that they'll have like a YouTube video of maybe a dozen or so of their constituents all asking for support. So this is something I'm excited about jumping into and developing our expertise in this over the next year.
So we want to form this Telepatriot team. So this will be something that you'll be hearing more about. We also Rodney has asked if Indiana would like to participate once we have our team formed here. Rodney has asked us if we would like to participate in projects involving other states, namely states that are still in play, that haven't passed, to help them in certain projects that they may be involved in, and our team could help them promote whatever they're trying to promote, or perhaps even recruit district captains, whatever. So the team that we form will not only be available to help other states, but we're planning to use it here in our state too. Anybody have any questions on that?
Just a quick note, the video capability is not in the COS Action app yet. That is in Telepatriot.
Okay.
And just another note on the Telepatriot or COS Action app, that can be used in your state now on the COS Action app. You can load people from your region, your district in there. I can provide the training on that if you want, on how to do that, how to create the missions. But you can load them in there to do recruiting or calling anybody. The list you make is up to you. So you can use this in your state to communicate with your people and do recruiting and different things like that.
Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. We got to move on here. We're running out of time here. Thank you, Paul.
Sure.
Comms team, Ken, anything, any comments you wanted to make?
Just a couple of short ones tonight, because I know we're running out of time and I don't have a whole lot. But yeah, we're continuing right now to work on memes for the social media and for Indiana's live broadcast. We've had a bit of a setback in working on some new things with Marengo Mike. I mentioned to Dale on Slack that we've had with an update to my operating system, the software that I use to create Marengo Mike has had developed some problems after the update. So I've got a support ticket in and hope to get that rectified here in the next couple of days so that we continue working. We want to continue. We had a number of things that are midway in that, in working on Marengo Mike, working for some things that we want to use for Indiana Live broadcast, and also a few other areas that Dale has mentioned that we can use him in. So hopefully that'll be up and running. Other than that, continuing to work on getting some more memes out, and some of these events that sound like they're coming up in January sound like good opportunities to start filling up our calendar. And also I'm hoping that 14th that you're talking about is a Tuesday. Is that right?
I believe it is, yes.
Yes,
okay.
it is.
I'm hoping at this point that again, I got to look at the calendar, but I'm hoping to be able to be available to video that so that we can.
That would be great. That would be great.
Yep.
That would be great.
Other than that, I don't have anything else.
The memes that Ken's working on developing, we're going to be using those to promote Convention of States Indiana Live, our broadcast. We've gotten permission to promote the broadcast on the national Facebook page. So, and they have thousands of viewers viewing that page. So, be another good opportunity to promote Indiana Live. I see John's already ready to come on. He Ken, is that you finished, Ken? Is that all you have?
Yeah, Dale, I mean, other than what you just mentioned for the national, you know, obviously, I don't know whether everybody's been filled in on that, but obviously we have to talk. The show on that does make national has to be geared more on a national type events going on, and not heavy on Indiana material. So I know Dale's gonna be busy working on blending that particular broadcast, and we haven't figured out whether we'll do 1 or 2 a month or however that'll work out. But that is on the spot. So
all right,
that's all I got.
All right, thanks, Ken. All right, John, you're up.
Okay, good to talk to everybody. As it says there on the screen, you know, I'm interested in recruiting social media warriors and people to write letters to the editor for their local paper. A couple new things that are going on that I didn't think about until just an hour or two ago. I've taken a little bit of training on the use of hashtags, and I'm starting to use hashtags to promote our Facebook page. And the guy who's handling our Instagram account is Jim Janess, and he's working now to link that into our Twitter account, so that we can hopefully grow an audience both on Instagram and Twitter, which are where young people are these days. It's only people like you and me, Dale, who get excited on Facebook.
Yeah, that's true.
Young people have migrated to these other platforms, and so we're going to be trying to take this message to the platforms where the younger people are.
All right, John.
So I use that the balance of my time.
You'll see, I've got a picture on the on this slide because this is an example, I think, of self-governance that I wanted to point out. John, can you see this? Okay.
Well, yeah.
Can you make a few comments on that? I know I didn't tell you about this, but
well, that is me wearing my golf cap, and I'm testifying in front of the Bureau of Motor Vehicles. They have a rule change that they've gone ahead. They've ignored the public comments, which were overwhelmingly opposed to the rule change, and so they've submitted it to the Attorney General. He has 45 days to submit it to the governor, and the rule change will allow a gender X on driver's licenses in the state of Indiana. So I was there along with a bunch of other people to testify in opposition to that, but it didn't do any good. And the thing that frustrates me about self-governance is that so often so many bureaucrats know what they're going to do, and they take public hearings only because the law requires them to, but they don't pay attention to you, the people, and it's really frustrating.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'm hats off to you, John. I wanted to recognize you for this because this is a good example of self-governance, and so everybody, John's setting the example for us. So very good, John. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on. Cindy. I don't know why I've got the name Cindy on my mind tonight. I don't know what that's about. Convention of States Indiana Live, our weekly broadcast. We're doing well on that, and I'm very hopeful in 2020, given our promotional through the national web page and other avenues. I'm really hoping to increase the viewership on this broadcast. We're still averaging right at about 100 views per week. So got a lot of things going on. We got, I will tell you this, we've got some legislators lined up to appear next year. And so we're working out on available dates. And you'll see the picture here of one of our Convention of States volunteers here in the state, Debbie Stewart. Debbie is in the process of presenting the constitutional literacy program that Michael Ferris created. She teaches this, in her homeschool class. So she's a homeschool teacher, and she teaches this program. So I've asked her to appear on our broadcast and actually present the program. There's like 25 chapters. He calls them chapters. There's 25 chapters, and she just presented the third chapter last Monday evening. So you'll be seeing her quite a bit through 2020. And, of course, recordings of these broadcasts you can see on our state Facebook page as well as our YouTube channel. Now, we have finished the year up as far as our broadcast is concerned, so we won't be broadcasting over the Christmas week and New Year's week. So our next broadcast is scheduled for January 6th, 2020. Okay. Just wanted to mention that I was asked to appear on the national COS Live broadcast, and I appeared on December 3rd, the December 3rd broadcast. That recording is also available. And I was interviewed, and I was able to talk about our broadcast here in Indiana. I was also able to nationally introduce Marengo Mike. They played a clip of Marengo Mike that we use to introduce our broadcast most Monday evenings. So Marengo Mike got introduced to our national group on that evening. So that was a lot of fun, and I think we got a lot of good publicity from that. Okay, Maya, we've finally gotten to you. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right. Okay, Maya. Maya is our young American for COS coordinator, and as long as we have her here, you're going to be moving on next year, aren't you, Maya?
Yeah, I actually. So one of our founders, Michael Ferris of Convention Estates, created a college in Virginia, and they accepted me into their college. So I will be going to Virginia next year to Patrick Henry College.
Congratulations, Maya. That's really great. Really great. So, folks, there's a position that we're going to be trying to replace. It's going to be hard to replace her, but if any of you know of a young American that would be willing to take this on, please let us know about that. So, I know, Maya, you wanted to give us an update tonight on something, right?
Yes. So I've been part of the Teenage Republicans, and I've asked the president a couple of times to allow Convention Estates to come in, and she's agreed to it, but we've never been able to get it on the schedule. She said there have been a couple of representatives who have wanted to speak with TARS, so she's put them in front of Convention Estates. Well, she is actually going to Washington, D.C., and she asked me to step up and be part of a leadership role in Teenage Republicans and plan events and like speakers. So that makes it like very easy for me to get Convention Estates on the schedule very soon. So
good,
that was
good. Good. Thank you, Maya. Thank you very much. We hope to see you as long as you're here next year, and so we'll be wishing you good luck when you get ready.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Maya. Another team that we're going to form here early on in 2020 is a speakers team, a speakers forum, or however you want to call it. This will be a group of individuals here in our organization that would be willing to and able to come and speak on to a group or at a meeting if you need somebody to come and speak. Now, you'll be hearing more about this. If you would like to be a speaker please let me know if you would like to be part of the team here. But basically what we're going to ask you to do is be available to go and just give a general presentation on Convention Estates, how we're doing here in the state, and the Convention Estates basics that our movement is based upon. So just want to let you know that's something else that's being planned, being worked on. Let me know if you'd like to participate in that. And this team would be available should you need a speaker at a meeting that you're holding, or perhaps a meeting that you arranged for us to be a part of their agenda. So, okay. I did want to recognize we had another gun show. Ed Paraguay, are you on? I saw you earlier. Are you on here tonight?
Yes, I am, Dale.
All right, there you go, Ed. Well, Ed conducted another gun show here in Fort Wayne on November 29th. How did it go, Ed?
Pretty well. As I recall, we had 119 paper petitions signed. We had a number of people who took literature. I finally got a hold of the gate numbers. There were approximately 2,900 people that attended the show over a 2-day period, and I have learned now that it's easy to just walk up. There's a totalizer that looks like an odometer on the turnstile, and they're very careful about not letting people who've come in once, who've gone out to their car, go through the turnstile a second time. So we had, as I recall, almost 20 people signing from other states, most of which had not signed a petition. The farthest was South Dakota. We had a number from Ohio, and I think there were 4 volunteers that I'm going to send cards to here, so to acknowledge the fact that they have volunteered and let them know that someone will get in touch with them.
Okay, all right, good deal, good deal. All right, Ed, thank you for coming on. Thank you for talking about that. Good job, my man, good job.
You're welcome, Dale.
See here in the pictures on this slide, he's with, it's Gary Spillman on the far left there, Lowell Foster, Victoria Mooring, and Gary. And this guy here, this bearded guy, I think, I believe, oh, that's George, and I thought it was Santa Claus for a while there. No, that's George. That's George. So, good job, everyone. Everybody that participated in that. Okay, I wanted to, Tim, I saw that you were on the call tonight. Are you still there? Tim Hayden, right?
Yes.
Okay, Tim, you want to
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You want to say a couple words about the prayer contact?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Dale. Once a month, we get asked by by a larger organization if we have anything from the state that we want to submit for prayers, and this could be anything like upcoming events, or somebody is personally, somebody died in the family, etc. So, or critical roles that we need filled. So anytime that you have anything like that you'd like to submit to get a bunch of prayer warriors working on it, you can just send it to me. My email address is on there, my phone number, and I'll be glad to pass it on along, and we'll get a lot more people praying for it. Thanks, Dale.
All right. Good job. Thank you, Tim. Thank you for doing that. All right, I want to go around the horn here real quick. I know we got we're over our 1 hour mark here. Let me see if I got some people here that haven't said anything. Thomas Schultz, you want to say anything?
Do you want me to say something?
Not really. Not really.
Okay, that's all it takes.
How are you? How's your health coming along, Thomas? Okay.
I'm still functional.
Okay. All right. Good.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, we'll let it go at that.
All right. Thanks, Guy. Thank you. Now, Elizabeth, are you still on? All right. Elizabeth is new. We'll get here another time. Larry Hudson, you on there tonight, Guy?
Yes, Dale. Just by way of clarification, I don't have anything other than this. Our visit to the State House, I can't take credit for Senator Ruckelshaus. I'm pretty sure that was Jack Durth's doing.
Oh, okay.
Jack has worked around him before, and Melba Kaiser was going to come with us, but she was ill.
Right.
And she may have had a part in that too, but I'm almost positive it's Jack Durth. The only the senator that I was there to see was Senator Sparks.
Yeah, I'll tell you, folks. Senator Sparks, she is very, very impressive. I really enjoyed our meeting with her, and she's both her and Senator Ruckelshaus have agreed to appear on Indiana Live, and I want Senator Sparks to come on. I want her to tell you her story. Her story on how she came to this country, how she got involved in Convention of States, and I think you all are going to really like her. She was very, very good. All right, thanks, Larry. Thank you.
You bet.
Diane, you still there?
Oh, yes, and I'm so glad you're going to have Senator Sparks on. She's my state senator, and she does have a compelling story, so I'm glad she'll share that. And Dale, you did a great job on that National Facebook Live. Really proud to
Thank you.
Indiana leading the way on that, and just great progress, everybody, and Merry Christmas, everybody.
All right. Thank you, Diane. Thank you. Who else we got here? I think that's it. Well, I think we can wrap things up. As you can see, our January state call will be January 22nd. We always try to do the fourth Wednesday unless there's holidays involved. So January 22nd, and that'll be a wrap for this year, tonight's call. And you know, I want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and please a safe, happy New Year. And I want to just say I'm honored to be your state director. I want to thank you for all of you have done this year. We have a great organization here in Indiana, and we're going to make it even bigger and better in 2020. I'm really looking forward to it. So I want to say with that, I want to say good night to everyone. Once again, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and have a good night.
Merry Christmas.
Good night, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and good night.